I'm calling the Monday, January 13th, 2025 meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. My God. Public input, which would be public input on anything not on the agenda. Right. Crickets, as Robert says. Septic system review, 62 Willow Road. Bridget, tell us what's going on.
So, we have a permit for the board to sign. It's for an 8-bedroom existing dwelling. They're putting in, it's considered an alternative system, Curtec, 4 rows, 4 chambers, 32 feet per row, 1,000-gallon pump chamber, 1,000-gallon septic tank, and another 2,000-gallon septic tank.
Okay.
This site was not easy. There was a lot of fill. So they really, with the lot size, are working in the back of the yard in a specific area. And I don't know if you care to see where it is.
Yeah.
How far away is it from the town? Does the town line not? The town's,
There's no town sewer.
the town sort of-
Yep, that's been exhausted. So,
It goes up Willow Road. I just didn't know
yeah,
how far
it
it goes.
stopped. So, like, I think Chip Shots is somewhere over here. So this is the house. And it's like, this is the house. This is the backyard. This is where the septic system will go. And again, as you can see, the lot size.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Yeah.
Littleton Air line, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
So that is the system. Again, not a lot of space to work with.
Yeah.
So this is the permit that goes with the plan.
Okay, got it.
And it meets all the engineering requirements. Okay.
So we do all the calculations
Yeah.
on our messy plans.
Yeah. So your recommendation?
Is to approve it.
Okay.
So I actually signed already. So you just need to do, each one of you sign one of the lines. And then when the homeowner signs it, we'll release the permit, send you down your copy with the plans.
Okay, got it. And then it goes, Sam goes in the file?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would make a motion that we endorse the permit of Timothy Hill for 62 Willow Road for an on-site septic disposal system as defined by the application.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All righty then. So you sign here, and we just sign in these places in the
Just pick a
bottom?
line, yep.
There you go.
It's not a very big pen.
Yeah, take
Thanks,
mine.
Ray.
Well, yeah.
Thought it would work, but it's not. Thank you.
Stuff.
Back to Bridget. I'm so used to going
Yeah.
everything to Sam. Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda, we've got tobacco violation hearing for the Jack-o'-lantern, AKA Traffic Circle Liquors, 2 Littleton Road. If you'd like to come up and join us, we have representatives from Mass Tobacco Control Alliance. And who do we have from Jack-o'-lantern?
Good evening, John Jarvis,
Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so I guess Joan, do you want to sort of lead us through what happened to get to this? It would probably be good.
Sure. And I also have Rick Sadelli with me today, who's the tobacco control agent who conducted both inspections.
Okay.
Or the inspections, I should say, all the inspections. So on October 27th, an inspection was conducted in the town of Ayer, where all retailers in this town were inspected in the same day. That day we had 2 sales to minors, and one of them was Jack-o'-lantern. And we used an 18, I'm just looking. I believe it was an 18-year-old male entered the store following our protocols and came out with a tobacco product, came out with a sale without being asked for an ID.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
Are we conducting separate hearings for violation 2 and 3? Are we conducting
This is only for the,
second violation?
yes, the October 27th.
Yeah.
So
violation.
will they be held separately? Then we'll hold this hearing? And then
There's a third violation that has not been issued yet, and I've talked about it with
Okay,
Seth.
so this is not a hearing on the third?
No, because it hasn't been issued yet, because you can't issue it's either the second depending on what happens here, or it's the third depending on what happens here, so you
I
can't
got you.
issue it
Yeah.
and then go, oh, wait, do over, we meant to do it this much, so.
Okay, all right.
We have 30 days from the violation to issue it, so we decided to wait for this hearing.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
that familiar with the process, so we're
Yep.
hearing on the second violation.
We're
is
hearing
what
on
we're
the
doing.
second violation.
Okay. Good question.
But there is an issue that gives the board's options that they have are negated because there's now a third violation. Because there is some options on the permit suspension to, continue without a finding pending there's not another violation in 36 months, but because there's already one in, yeah, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
So for this violation, on October 27th, the youth entered in following all protocols in the training, and they came out with a pack of backwoods, and it was a male adult, male older adult sold to that minor, and they were not asked for an ID.
So the fine at this point, or the penalty according to the regulations is, and that's, I think, outlined.
Yeah, it's resulted into a second violation for $2,000 and a permit suspension of 7 consecutive business days.
Yeah.
As required by state law, or a longer term as promulgated by local reg, and your local reg is 7 days for the second offense.
Yeah.
And has been for many, many years for second offense on sale to a minor.
Okay. And
The first violation occurred on 10/18/23, where there was a $1,000 fine and a 3-day permit suspension, and that was served and paid.
Okay.
10/18, you said, 23?
10/18/2023, and it's
Okay.
on the front of the order in the order history.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
So the way this process works, you're presenting the violation, and does the licensee have the opportunity to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, just like if it was a clerk magistrate hearing or a speeding
Yeah.
ticket hearing, we tell what happened and make our recommendation, and then they tell
Yeah.
what they want to talk about and what they want to ask for. Our recommendation is a responsible finding because there's no processing error or procedure errors.
Correct.
It's a solid sale to a minor. Unfortunately, we call these expensive mistakes. We want to move forward and work with the retailer in whatever materials and things that we can provide for them to help prevent this from happening again. I've already had a lengthy conversation with Seth about it today. I think they're going to talk a little bit about what their store is doing to try to prevent this from happening moving forward. But our recommendation is a Board of Health, if the evidence provides that the violation occurred, a Board of Health cannot reduce the fine. But when it comes to the permit suspension, there is a little bit of leeway with the permit suspension, and it's often, they have to serve a minimum amount. The first violation is 3. What could have been on the table is depending on whatever they're asking for. We don't usually offer this, but because there's a third violation in play now, there really isn't an option to make a recommendation other than 2,000 in the 7-day to be served. Some boards in the past have done serve 3, continue 4 without a finding pending. There's no other violation in 36 months, and then if there is, you serve the remaining 4 and then move on to the next violation, which is
Okay, I got
5,000
you.
30 days.
Yeah.
Who is the licensee? Who actually signs the application for the tobacco permit?
We wrote the violation out to Mark Firmanian. Is that how you say it? Mark Firmanian?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so he's the person, we always write it out to whoever the permit holder is, so he's the permit
Okay.
holder.
He's a co-owner of the store.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
I've had dealings with Mr. Fermanian in the past, And I would offer the licensee the opportunity for me to recuse myself if they think that I can't be impartial.
You had business,
Yes,
personal business?
I don't
Oh,
want to get into
oh,
the
okay, yeah,
details.
okay, no, that's fine.
But I could see the licensee saying that I couldn't make an objective decision. I don't think that's the case at all, but I don't want to find out after the hearing begins, so I'm asking right now.
You
If-
can you can recuse
Well, I
yourself
want to know
to,
if the licensee wants me to do that. If they will, I will recuse
I
myself.
don't have a problem with
Okay. No, I'm more than comfortable doing that. I just don't want to find out
Okay.
after the fact that someone said you
Yeah.
couldn't be objective.
Good
So-
point, keeping it up. Okay.
the law doesn't give a lot of leeway when it's a sales to a minor.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
not a lot of discretion anyway that can be given, unfortunately. But, so this, we just presented the evidence. Everybody has a photo. Do you guys have a copy of your violation order? I'm assuming. I
you.
didn't,
Just have a copy of it. I don't have a photo that you're looking at though. When I first did.
yeah, I didn't present the photo yet because that issue didn't come up. So when you bring that issue up, if you bring that issue up, then I'm going to show the photo. I wasn't able to print it, but you had told me that you had a photo off of your camera and that you were going to send it to me, and I never ended up getting that. But we can send this photo to you. Well, I can't send it to you. I can show it to you live, but it's a photo of a youth inspector, so we can only show it to you live. But I can meet you at the store and show you the photo we have from that day.
Can you give us 1 second?
Sure.
Thank you.
So you have the photo on your phone?
Yeah.
or on your- Yeah, okay.
He brought it up, so I'll just let the board know. He had contacted me originally because the protocols, the state, all of our youth are trained by state protocol, and so the federal youth inspectors, state youth inspectors, and local board of health inspectors are all trained following the same training protocols. And part of that training protocol is that the youth has to come as they're normally dressed. We can't tell them to dress up, dress down,
Yeah,
you know, grow a beard, shave a beard, cut your
Yeah,
hair,
yeah.
things like that. The only thing that is in the protocol that they absolutely cannot wear sunglasses or a hat of any kind.
Okay.
So Seth had a concern that he thought that the youth might have been wearing sunglasses based on what he could see on his video camera. And if there's a sale to a minor, we take a picture, and I do have the sale, and I can put it up to the camera to try to show them. So this was taken at 11:40 a.m. because there was a sale at a location before them, so we take a picture that one day of the sale. So
Okay.
this is the youth that was used, and those are his transitional prescription glasses, which are allowed, and you can see the bright sun and in the car taking the light, so this would be the darkest the glasses would be. So as you walk into a place, they, within a minute or so, they lighten up and show. But this was him, before they entered the store.
Yeah.
Because there was a sale at a previous place. They entered the store at 12:13. This picture was taken at 11:50. And then this is just to show, that's the darkness of the transitional
Sure, I've got
glasses.
no questions.
Yep.
Thank you.
And this is his picture for the day? you're
This was the picture of
Yeah.
him on that day.
saying? Okay,
Yeah, and he's 18.
okay, gotcha.
And then, is that the camera up there?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Can you reach that,
I don't
Joan?
know if you can see this.
Oh, gosh,
If I-
yeah.
I don't know if that's not too good.
Nah.
No, I think the camera's back there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, I mean, we will, I thought you were gonna be here, so I didn't know it was gonna be on Zoom. But I couldn't get it to print with the wireless printer.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So, anything else from tobacco
No.
control? If not, then jack-o'-lantern, folks, what happened?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna have Seth talk first since he's
Okay.
again, we have 30 blankets.
Well,
Yeah,
you
we're not
can,
hearing that right now,
yeah.
so.
Okay. Honestly, these are
Okay, no, go ahead. Mhm. Okay, gotcha. Anything else that we should know?
from this incident, we take these special precautions moving forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. 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 Gotcha. I mean, I have a certain amount of sympathy for you because you live and die by your employees, and as Mr. Jarvis knows, it's your name on the sign, and you've got to try to make your employees always do the right thing. Is there what are you asking for? Are you requesting that we either reduce the fine or reduce the 7-day suspension? And I
In
think,
this instance, we were trying to mimic the second situation.
mhm. Okay, gotcha. So your argument pretty much is the sunglasses and that made it difficult for you to
Correct.
tell the
We
age.
could we couldn't
Yeah,
fully see his face.
yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
I do have a little bit of comments on that because they are transitional glasses and that he was going to send me his picture from his camera and he never did. So
Yeah.
I can't see how dark they look or how light they look. He can't see how light transitional
Yeah,
glasses, but
yeah.
transitional glasses don't typically get dark like a regular sunglass that you buy over the counter.
Yeah.
Rick goes out with this youth all the time. This youth does not wear contacts or has any other way to see, and he cannot see without them. And we've been using him since he turned 16 and a half, and we have never had, any problems. And we'd like to point out all the retailers were checked, and
Yeah, I know.
and no one else, well, we had one other sale and they took responsibility and paid the fine. These are not, public health is about helping people come into compliance. We never feel good about issuing.
Yep.
We consider these very expensive mistakes, but this location has had 3 separate employees in a 15-month period sell 3 times in a row. It's considered a very egregious record. It's in the state database. It is now triggering extra federal inspections, extra state inspections once you get 3 in a 36-month, let alone 3 in a 15-month. This store historically, we've had no problems with.
Yeah.
So we don't know
Yeah.
if it's a turn and change of employees, something else is going on. I talked to Seth today that we have 99 problems every day and Jack-o'-lantern was not one of them
Yeah,
until now.
yeah.
Until now. In Jack-o'-lantern, we've been working with Ayer since 2008, so that they're not the beat on the street place, but because they also sell alcohol, that triggers other departments now as well.
Yeah, I got you.
And our goal is to educate and help them, because I don't want them to fail another one of our inspections, and I don't want them to fail another agency's inspection. So, today I had a really good conversation with Seth. I really think moving forward with this new technology, there is an override button on it, and him and I talked about that, but at the end of the day, after 30 years of education, and youth access and sales to minors and vaping is a state of emergency. It was declared in 2019, which led to these fines being raised from 100 to 300 to 1,000 to 5,000. And the governor put meat in it. Our new governor kept the state of emergency in place, and we've had 3 attorney generals since this process that are still actively pursuing these issues under a state of emergency. So it's hard for us to, it's hard because 3 months later, we did the re-inspection, and there was a lot of time to train your staff and get things, and we're still having the same outcome. I want to work with them. We do have an online training program that they can give to their staff. It's a 1-hour training, and it's a QR code. They can do it on their phone. There's things that we want to bring by to the jack-o'-lantern when we get these violations resolved. We're not going to do another re-inspection on them. I can't say other agencies aren't until we resolve the third violation.
Sure.
Because the next step is a permit revocation hearing. When you've had 4 in 36 months, it's a permit revocation hearing, and we want to work with jack-o'-lantern to make sure that that does not happen.
Can I ask a question? What is the first thing in the training that the employees are taught? Are they just, someone walks in and they kind of look at that person, or is it always like, show me your ID, show me your ID? I mean, I've been carded before and I laugh at it.
I know.
Just for certain things, and it's
My husband says he gets carded at the liquor
so
store.
I'm like, but I mean, what does the training say? What's the first thing that you learn?
Well, what
when
do you
somebody
guys
comes
do
in.
for, what has been your training up until this point, not going forward, but what sort of led up to violation number 2? Were you?
Is this a question directed to us?
Yes, to you guys. I'm sorry, you can only see the back of my head, I think,
Well, I
because I'm
mean-
like sitting the wrong way.
I mean, what does
Right.
the training? What does the training entail? Like for the employees, do they look at the person and size them up and say, oh, this person has got to be so old, or are they allowed to
It's
card?
right? You're taught in any of the six training
I just want to be able to. Oh, this didn't help at all.
Under the
You're
age of
still looking
40.
at the back of my head. How is this? Is this camera moving around?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I put,
Oh, for God's sake. Then how come it's turning the back of my head over here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail that discussion, but I feel terrible with you not. Okay, so either I can see you. Oh, that's the problem. Can we get them on that?
you can sit.
I know, and I feel terrible at not speaking to you directly, so I'll try to speak to the blank screen.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I do think that from what we've heard, that they take it very seriously. I think, putting in a different point of sales.
Yeah.
I
I
know
would
that
agree.
there's other places that if you go to buy any type of alcoholic beverage or beer, and I'm 71 years old, I still get carded.
I know.
But
know.
what the system does is they ask you for an ID, and I don't like the idea of my picture being run through someone's database, but
Yeah.
it is a system. So I do think they
Yeah.
take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also think that
The only information that is pulled out from the ID is the date of birth and the last name of service. So,
Oh, really?
no,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm not questioning your system at all, Seth. I've seen other systems where they actually take a picture.
Oh, I know what you.
No,
Yeah.
others
yeah,
take a
okay. You're
picture
saying
of
in
your
general.
ID
Yeah,
in general.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I do think that, they discharged the person that was responsible.
Yeah.
They took it very seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
So
can see that.
whatever our outcome is, they are a long-term business in the town of Ayer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And as Joan says, they have been responsible, and her position is to make sure that they stay in compliance, to educate them. So can you give us some guidance in terms of
Okay.
our
So-
direction?
So If the evidence, which it does, shows that they have it, you can't reduce the fine. The
So
fine
the
cannot
fine
be,
is
the
$2,000?
fine is $2,000
That's by law,
by law.
okay,
The suspension was 7 days,
okay.
where you had some leeway to reduce that. But it's always continue without a finding pending in the next 36 months. There's not another violation to be served if there's another violation. They now have a pending violation of
Right, that's what you're
5,030
saying,
days. So
30.
unfortunately, because they sold, they sold 3 out of the last 4 times. Because when they had their 2023, that was their annual inspection on 10/18/2023.
Yep.
They did have, after that was resolved, they had a re-inspection. Well, they didn't appeal it. They paid it and
Okay,
served their
yeah.
3-day. And after their
Yeah.
3-day suspension, we sent a youth in and they passed.
Okay.
And then now we're all done till the next annual inspection unless somebody complains about them. The next
Okay.
annual inspection, they sold, and on the re-inspection, they sold. So in
Okay, so
15
this was
months-
annual reinspection, annual.
Re-inspection.
Okay, yeah,
So in the last 15 months, they have a record of
yeah.
3 out of 4 times
Yeah.
they sold. And it's very expensive mistakes. Nobody feels good about this. But there's really not a lot of leeway, because how do you give a break on the 7-day? Because we're going to be issuing this one, and then we're going to have to say, okay, serve the 3 days, but when we go through this one, now you got to serve 34 days.
Yeah.
So there's
I
no
understand what
break
you're saying.
really, because if you give it on paper, we're taking it away when we issue this one.
So the board tonight, though, the $2,000 fine, that's by law, that's,
Yeah.
there's no, and the 7 days would be actually by law as well because of the third violation, right?
Right. I mean, you could make a motion to serve 3 and continue 4, and then we're going to turn around and pile the 4 on the next violation as soon as it's written. So
Can I make a request?
Sure,
Can we make a request in this?
yeah, absolutely.
Based on what's occurred here, what's happened.
Mhm.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So what we can do is set the permit, usually on a 30-day, we start at the first of the month, and it's the first 30 days of the month. That's what we normally do.
yeah.
So you're asking to serve the 7 and then tack the 30 right on, or do you want to serve the 7, get this, and do a hearing on this?
I
No.
want to serve it all straight.
Okay, so what that means tomorrow, I can write this violation tomorrow, send it to you, and on this one, I could issue the 7-day suspension and then start the 30-day, and all you have to do is accept this and pay it and not appeal it, and you would have 37 consecutive days. And we normally start the first of the month. We could start that for February 1st, or we could start it for March 1st. Do you have a preference?
February 1st.
Okay. Okay.
So we
Okay.
don't have a hearing on the third violation?
No, because
It's gonna
it
go
hasn't-
right into.
It hasn't been issued, and they have the right to a hearing, but they don't have to have one if they don't want
Right,
one.
right,
He's
right.
saying, when
Yeah.
that third violation comes, we're not intending on appealing it. Is
Yeah,
that
your
what I'm
plan is
hearing?
not to appeal.
In the interest of everyone's time,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Well-
we have the latitude to do that? Could we issue the 30 days and then?
It hasn't been issued yet, so this is what I was getting at, is if you went, if I could get this out to you, because you could serve the 7, and then they could reduce the 30 by serve 2 weeks and then continue 2 weeks. That's why if you might
Okay.
want to do a separate appeal on the 30-day.
Uh-huh. It would reduce your total time, is what she's saying.
I mean, it's not our job. My job is to defend the violation in the process, and it's your job to decide. And
Yeah,
any time you give a break or grace, you have to remember that, if another retailer is in the same position.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
we've been here since 2008, and we've never had a retailer in this position, so I don't think it's gonna happen often, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna happen with the store again if we could give them some extra resources.
If we
Yeah,
did
exactly.
21 days tonight, we could do 21 and then contingent upon no further violation.
You can't give anything on this violation yet, because nothing has been issued, so there's
I think
no
we can
hearing.
only do the 7.
But what I could do is issue this one, because you guys aren't meeting again before February 1st, correct?
That's right.
Okay. So what we could do is issue the violation for March 1st and give you a hearing on February for this one.
So our 7 days would start March 1st.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to start it on the 1st. When's your next meeting? February?
It's usually the middle.
Because I'm on vacation February 13th to the end of the month.
It would be February 10th.
February 10th. So we can also do it, if you wanted to start your suspension, we could do it February 15th, because you could have the hearing on the 10th, and then however many days, it's going to be the 7 that we issue tonight, and we can start we usually start them on a Friday, so we could start them the 7-day, the 14th to the 20th, and then whatever gets tacked on that next hearing, we could tack it on to that on the 10th.
So it's still allow you
Yeah,
to
so-
serve it all
We'll wait your
consecutive.
paperwork and then we'll file the appeal for the next one.
Yeah.
And then we could, but what this allows us to do, let's just say, and I'm just throwing it out there. They say, okay, we're gonna give you 15 days instead of 30 and continue 15. Say they're gonna do that. We can tack those 15 days right onto the 14th, and so they are continuous for you. We'll know that on the 10th.
That works. Thank you very much. Appreciate your consideration.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I would move that we move forward with the violation as stipulated by the Tobacco Control Commission for the 7 days, and the fine is by state law. And the jack-o'-lantern and Mr. Jarvis can appeal the 3rd, and we can take that
Okay.
up at a future hearing. Is
And the
that
7 days then would begin
15th, you said, of
on the
February, is that right?
Yeah, it's gonna be, no, it would start,
14th to the 20th, you said?
well, we could start it on a Friday. Yep, Friday the 14th,
Is that
Okay.
acceptable, or?
the 14th through the 20th, and then on the 10th,
Yep.
Right.
however many, it's gonna have to be something, obviously, and it's gotta be more than 7. But whatever they decide on then, we can tack right on to start on the 20th, and it can be continuous, and then we can maybe, shorten it. And then, but what would happen is if there's let's hope it doesn't happen, but if there's a 4th violation in a 36-month period from this violation, then you would have to serve another 30, plus the remaining 14, plus pay another 5,000, plus you're subject to a revocation hearing. And a revocation hearing is usually, it's considered permanent, but after 1 year, you can petition the board and ask for it back.
I think that that's a fair, I
Yeah.
hope that the licensee views that as a fair outcome as well.
We do. Thank you. Can I ask one quick question?
Sure, of course.
How long do we live in this sort of purgatory, right? These violations.
Each violation is 36 months, and it drops off after 36 months. So the one on 10/18/2023 drops off in 2026. The one that you just had on October 24th, 2024 drops off in 27. So,
Oh, 27. So we have 2 falling in 27. And 1 in
Yes.
26.
yeah. But if you get another one after the first one drops off, because it goes back 36 months from today. So if you have a violation today, I go back in the database, what did you have in the last 36 months? Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
My motion stands, though.
And I would second Mr. Slarski's motion.
All right. That sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
So we'll already plan on an appeal on the 10th, and I will tomorrow make it a priority to bump this violation up and get it out tomorrow.
Okay,
Once we get the violation in hand, I'll drop the appeal form off.
Thank you.
okay, just
Great.
to make it legal, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Okay.
It is done. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joan.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Such a lot of stuff, Joan.
You want to come back on the 10th, Joe?
We'll be back here on the 10th.
Wonderful.
My vacation starts on the 13th, but I will be here on the 10th.
How big a
Okay.
territory do you have?
46 communities.
Ooh,
And
wow.
how many people are there like you in the state that do this?
Well, there's from Western Mass all the way through the Cape and North Shore, South Shore, and then there's a program through MHOA, which is help unfunded towns doing inspections for unfunded towns. But they don't do as much enforcement that we do for you. Yeah, so I want to say, I have 46. I'm the largest in the state.
Wow.
I'm definitely the largest in the state, but like Boston is a big area.
Sure.
Yeah.
And whatnot, but I have mostly all central Mass, from
Interesting.
north to south, up to Townsend, down to
Wow.
Blackstone,
Oh, my goodness.
Groton, Dunstable, Maynard, Clinton, Stowe,
Oh my God.
Oxbridge, Southbridge,
Wow.
Northbridge,
That's a big
all the
territory.
bridges.
Yeah, that is a big
I've been
territory.
doing it for a long time, and I have, Rick is one of my 4 per diem inspectors, so it's myself full-time, and then a handful of per diem inspectors.
Wow.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Huh.
All my per diem inspectors, the youngest one that's been with me the least is 5 years, but everybody else is about 15 years or more
Wow.
experience.
Where do you fall under the state? You fall under this?
We are, City of Leominster is the lead city.
No. I'm saying, where do you fall under?
Department of Public Health. So
You're under
Department of
DPH.
Public Health has the Massachusetts Tobacco Control Program, who gives the local hosts
Yeah.
the funds. So I'm not a state employee or a City of Leominster employee. They call me an employee of the grant. So,
Oh, okay, interesting.
yeah, I think that's just to get out.
So do you need like annual or periodic grant funding to?
The contracts are every 3 years, so in 1994, 24 years old, with my eyes wide open, I thought I was doing this for 3 to 6 years, and I'm here 30 years later.
Wow.
So tobacco control, there's been a new every 3
Okay.
years, and right now we're on an extended contract. The last time we RFP'd was 9 years ago, and the next RFP for boards of health is in the winter of 2028, so we'll have to re-RFP
Gotcha.
with all of our boards for January 1st, 2028, and it's usually 3-year contracts that get extended.
Is
Yeah.
that funding under federal? Is it federal
No,
funding?
it's under state, it comes from the tobacco industry settlement and the Centers
Ah.
for Disease Control, so our money is not actually taxpayer dollars. It comes
Yeah.
from the tax on Massachusetts tobacco products, the
Interesting.
tobacco settlement.
Pretty
and
appropriate.
Money from the CDC.
Cool.
Yep.
Very appropriate.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for everything you do. You're a lifesaver. It's very hard to keep all this straight.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it is. All right, trash hauler is our next item on here. Do we have anyone from
Yes. So we have
joining us? Let me just get
on Zoom.
all that tobacco
Okay.
stuff in one place. And hello.
Are we looking that way? I think.
I don't know.
I think we are. That's okay.
I know, because I can't see people's faces.
Barry's not
but-
here tonight, or?
He's,
They moved to the meeting room, not the meeting room, the mail room. That's where all the equipment is now.
Huh.
Okay, right.
That'd be nice if that screen worked.
I know.
There's
know.
a way to do it, I just don't know. But I might have a way.
We just
I
don't
can
know
see
exactly how to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Irene Cockton. I'm the regional recycling coordinator. We have disposal of
Mm. Gotcha. And it's a similar kind of funding and setup? Yeah.
We're funding all of the waste energy facilities.
Oh, interesting.
So that's how
Yeah. No, doesn't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get them to
Wow.
see you, but it decided to just do
Crazy.
you a million times. I thought I was being clever, but that's okay.
You can share your screen. You said no sharing your screen. And I'm still feeling
Okay, I
Ooh, yeah.
that might work.
Oh, 2015. Sorry, regulation. Been a while.
Yeah. 10 years.
Yeah. 10 years. 10 years.
Okay, let's see. Can you guys see my screen here?
Hold on.
Yes, I can see it. I mean, yeah, you can see it, but I don't have can see it.
I'm working on it.
They don't have to do the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you can see us.
Huh.
That's something.
We updated everything, so everything's in a different spot.
Ah.
Jeez.
I was just gonna go over. It's just like 3 different slides, so I can talk about it right next time.
Okay. All right.
So,
Yeah. Okay. We have it. We have it. We just.
Oh, yeah. There it
We
is.
got it.
Yep. Thank you.
okay. So benefits to the
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Mm. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Got it. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A deja vu.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. 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 Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Mm, I gotcha. Okay. What we have in our reg right now is this statement that all the haulers serving residential, municipal, and commercial industrial in the town shall provide customers with the option of recycling, but it doesn't talk about like at a single price or anything. That's the section you're talking about, right? That we would need
Yeah,
to.
so you can say bundle pricing,
Okay.
if you want to the bottom,
Okay. Yeah, not a may, it's a you shall provide. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep, got it. Yeah.
Right.
How does this play out in then commercial facilities and multifamilies where there may right now just be a dumpster? What do they typically get then for collection bins instead of the
so they're
dumpster?
probably gonna, they talk with their homeowner to get a rolling quote, they probably have minutes.
Okay. And that's all single stream stuff? Everything can go in there, paper, glass,
Correct,
plastic?
yep,
Okay. All right, got it.
yeah, most of, pretty much all of
Yeah, okay. All right. Um, okay.
I
them.
remember
So
this
for enforcement
conversation
later,
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Do we have access to that, to a list of vendors that are already doing that, that serve,
Everybody, yeah,
that serve other towns besides ours?
they all have to be found on my stand down, so.
Okay. Yeah. So you inspect what gets dropped off by the haulers, and then the enforcement kind of goes from the haulers to their customers.
If they choose to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, do all the haulers that we license have the capability of following the guidelines that you're talking about? So
Yes.
our haulers, are they licensed by you or?
No, so I'm with the state, so
I get that, but
Yeah.
I get that,
Yeah.
Right.
but do we, how do we know that our haulers have the capability of doing this?
That's what I was getting at. I mean, like, I remember this conversation
Yeah.
now years ago when we talked about like apartment buildings. that
What's
have
what's
just-
on the application right now? What is there information that gets submitted with our current application?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm asking, we have, what, 10 haulers that
Yeah.
we license in the
Mhm,
town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they all have the capability of doing what you're saying, and are they doing it now?
there's a lot of, yeah, I haven't heard of anyone that really is, What are the treatment cases?
I, I
Got it.
I totally get that, but we license for the town of Air 10 different haulers.
Yeah.
Do all those haulers have the
I-
capability
I
of doing
think
it?
they do because of
How do we know that
this.
though? I mean,
Because they all have to get a
They-
copy of the regulation and say that they're gonna follow it.
but do we know, is there any inspection of the haulers that we know that they can do this?
Not that we do.
But have you ever seen a dumpster with a recycling?
Yeah, I
next
have
to
many
it?
times, but I don't know if all the haulers are doing that or not. That's what I'm saying.
So
You know, if we license,
Well, I don't know if they are doing it. It's the having the capability of doing
Yes.
it, and are they doing it is two different.
They have
Yeah.
the capability. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
that we license to pick up in the town of Air, they have the capability of doing it. I mean, piece of paper that they sign says yes, but
But I thought that
knows?
we constructed that questionnaire pretty closely with the reg to kind of say, well,
Yeah,
do you have this? Do you
who's
have
inspecting
that?
it? Who's
Sam, when she reviews the.
right? But who's following up to make sure that these people
Oh, like a
actually?
physical and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
That was something that we had, now
Yeah.
it's all coming back to me, when
Yeah.
we talked about like a multifamily house that has a dumpster.
Yeah,
And they're saying that that vendor should have a dumpster and
and a recycling. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
exactly.
see that.
The one thing you can do normally, like with the policy, with up to the highway license,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Mm,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yep. Okay. Oh, wow, okay. 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 Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. So what we could do is I did a lot of work on this version, my old friend. So I actually don't mind if you send me what you have for the draft or send it through Sam to me. I can take a look at that. I think all of us here know how to look at a red line document, which was a challenge in the past.
Yeah.
So I can do a red line of what would need to change. That's not committing us to do it, but at least then we would see specifically what would need to change. And we would have to do a public hearing to change the reg anyway. So that's probably the best way to proceed is let's look at what we would need to change. Is there a time frame here by which like we need to have the reg wrapped
Or
up
the
by?
draft before June 15th.
Okay, before June, okay. All right. That sounds pretty doable, even if we have to fit in the public hearing, especially since you already have the draft done, right? The document that you just showed us. Yeah, if you send that over, I can get that together and circulate it. Did you find anything in the questionnaire about?
We have the basic, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
And it does types of service, residential, commercial, roll off, so we know that. There is another form. So we have the solid waste hauler reporting form.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
supposed to fill this out twice a year.
Yep.
No.
That's supposed to go to DPW too,
Yes.
right?
So I sent it to them all this year.
Okay.
And I got some responses.
Okay.
But this does tell at least, total tonnage of single stream recycling collections. So
okay.
it should tell us exactly.
Yeah, there should be
What they're
something
collecting.
there. Yeah.
But if we update the regs, we can very easily.
Yeah, we
update
could
the
make
form.
that
Um,
questionnaire a little clearer in the
Yeah,
the
because-
application form too.
There's a couple of things in the application section that if we update the reg, I'd update that too, just so
Yeah,
it's easier
yeah.
for everybody.
I mean,
And Sarah's about to do your, safety
oh, good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think, so they sometimes send them to you, Sam?
So
Are some of them maybe sending them directly to DPW?
I
or-
asked Dan.
Yeah.
Dan didn't know these existed.
Oh.
So, and
Oh,
I
because
asked,
it was,
and I asked,
Mark, what's
I think they got sent to
Mark.
Mark, and then I had asked my predecessor, and she was like, I sometimes got them, sometimes it wasn't sure what they were. She asked her predecessor, and I think the info of what they were got lost.
Yeah, I
along
wouldn't
the
be
employee
surprised.
line,
All right.
And because it's not clearly written.
I'll look for that. And the reg should be very clear about what happens to
Yeah,
this.
and it was a little, and I tried to find, and it got,
Okay, all right.
it was one of those of, I think we should do this, but
Yeah. All right, so we'll
We
make
do have the updated form, that also asks about.
mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It looks like there's a lot of, more than I would have expected, turnover in customers and who is your hauler. At least I noticed, like, just the streets that I typically drive on, I'm always seeing different names on the stuff. So I think people are very cost conscious. They're out, they're looking for the best deal. And I can see your point that, well, if you just don't offer recycling, maybe you can give a better deal. So,
I would say maybe about 2/3 filled out this report this year, because I sent it with the packet.
well, 2/3 is almost better than I would expect if we didn't really make a big deal about it. So,
Yeah, so.
okay. Does that sound like a reasonable approach to you? Let's get the new ones. I mean, I think what you're saying makes sense. Let's put it to a public hearing. Let's at least look at what the changes would be. I mean, we don't have to, decide tonight to do the public hearing. We just get as far as, I'll do the red lines, I'll get information out to you guys, and, we can look at that. We can put it on the agenda for a future hearing, but try to get, if we're gonna go forward with it, try to get the public hearing and everything wrapped up before June.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So there's another component to that.
Okay.
Enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Got it. Okay. And how are municipalities handling the enforcement? Are they actually looking, is like someone from the town looking at what the haulers are doing, or is it more asking for information?
Yeah, Harvard and Towns did the points for.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. But it's mostly, it's monitoring complaints and it's reminders, and nobody's actually out there tearing open bags and looking in them at this point, right?
I thought that.
I was gonna nominate you for that,
No,
Steve.
I
but-
thought someone in Harvard was doing that. I thought.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And it was Sam's position in Harvard that was.
Mine.
Well, Sam.
It's all coming back
Well,
to
something
me.
for
I
you to
remember
do.
this.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I don't.
We'll get you a disguise and you can.
Yeah, exactly. Do it under cover
And
of
those,
night.
and those recycling bins that the haulers would have along with their dumpsters, are those provided by the haulers themselves? Are they certain dimensions? They're not like the little ones that you have at the end of everyone's driveway, I'm sure, if it's a,
No, there won't be
A
carts.
restaurant.
Typically, it's a family cart.
Okay.
yeah.
I got an idea. No, really, I got.
Okay, what's
seriously,
your
I got an
idea, Steve? This
Why-
should be
no,
good.
we've got haulers that we've licensed.
Yeah.
Would you ask them to send us a copy or a photo of the recycling cart that they're using?
Oh,
Ask
Sure.
the haulers to send us what, and
Yeah.
the ones that you don't hear of, we can pester them, and we'll just assume that they don't send it to you, that they don't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, do we need to make,
Your text number and I'll do it real fast. If they don't have-
do we,
Yeah, yeah.
do you want a motion to that effect, or do you want just ask Sam to do that?
I think we could just do it
I
for
could
now.
just
Let's
do
just
that.
ask.
Yeah,
them.
why don't you-
Yeah.
At
Just-
this point, we're just gathering.
Just send,
Yeah,
just send the
yeah.
haulers a text or an email asking them to, to send us
Yeah.
photos of the recycling containers they're using.
okay.
Yeah, put it
Then
all
we can
under
randomly
info
see if they
gallery.
actually exist. you know,
Yeah.
I'm
just,
curious, yes.
I'm curious too, so.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sending you out.
I'm not looking at anybody's stress. I don't
Okay.
want to do it.
All right.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
Let's do that though and see what we get back. Yeah.
So you would be my primary contact, is that right? If I've got questions here about Reg says this, can it say that? Do you work with us on that level? Or? Okay.
Either way, I'm gonna email it to all of you.
Oh, God, just email it to us. I'm not logging into anything else. Wonderful.
Yeah, and also just keep in mind that a lot
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, got it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and the financial benefit to the town is, yeah, it's a nice little sweetener too.
Yeah.
It helps a little, so.
that's what I had.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank you.
very much. We'll be communicating over the next few weeks, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right,
Yeah, I'll just
Steve.
mark it up and send it out to you guys. And we can look at it.
The more we discussed it, it came back to me. It's been 10 years. I remember that discussion because.
Well, I think we've talked about it again since, because I was looking at this one, you weren't even on the board when
The
this
first
version
time,
went
okay,
through.
but
Yeah.
the second time we had that discussion and we were kind of tongue in cheek about the whole, well,
Yeah.
why can't one of us go drive around and
Yep.
look? And I'm like, no.
Is
But
this,
Harvard did do
Yes,
that.
I
though.
know.
Yeah.
could you just make sure that this, I have the version from the website. I printed the version from the website. It's the 8th of June, 2015. Is there a later one than that? Because that predates Trish.
No, this is, if you go on the, like, regs page on the Board of Health website, that page is supposed to be taken down.
Feeling,
How does that sound? That one was supposed to be.
I remember
These
the
are from,
conversation
no,
about
but these
Harvard.
are from 2015.
yeah.
Okay,
But even
all right.
before that, there was.
I think we have talked about it since then, the
Yeah.
possibility of making.
The other
some other
question
changes.
I had was, the trash haulers, since we know a lot of them aren't doing that, is there like a certain guidelines that they go by? Like if you have a school, like I know ours used to have one dumpster, one color, and the other color for
Oh,
recycling.
yeah.
Because
yeah.
they expected that much more. Or if you have like a small cafe or restaurant, are the trash haulers supposed to have by so many feet, by so many feet?
Right, depending on what,
Recycling
like, kind of
unit.
establishment, how
And
much
what if
space do you
what
get?
if they,
Yeah.
the ones that aren't doing it now, what if they haven't been doing it? Now they're gonna look at it as an extra expense if they have to.
Absolutely.
So we have to get
Yeah.
a good idea of if we have
Yeah.
more on board than less,
Yeah,
then that's the
Yeah,
leverage
exactly.
there.
That's the bundling thing because
Bundling,
Yeah.
yes.
although it doesn't say that if anyone isn't, I mean, they should be providing it now because it's
Yeah.
in the reg, but if they're not, it doesn't say they can't raise their price in order to include it. It just says it has to be a single price.
Right.
So if they feel like they need to raise their price to accommodate it, I suppose they have that option.
Right.
But I think it's nice that all the towns are getting on this, so at least the haulers should be kind of in tune with what we're looking
I think they probably knew it was coming.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, probably. All right,
Okay.
well, let's take that one
Okay.
as it comes then. I don't mind doing the.
And how many do we have, Sam? Altogether? No, don't. I don't mean for you to have to rifle through
Oh, God,
there.
do we have
Just-
to sign them all tonight?
so-
You have
I'm
to
just
sign a
wondering
bunch
how
tonight.
we,
We have 9.
oh,
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's doable.
yeah, but it's doable.
9 that
fill out the forms. I don't,
Neither does,
Yeah,
would
right.
actually do it.
None that we're
Okay.
aware of, yeah, okay.
You know, there's things.
Okay.
Okay, then we can, yeah, we'll send some documents around to look at on that one.
All right.
All right, old business, harm reduction.
Harm reduction.
Update.
We have another meeting on the 31st. In fact, I have some figuring out to do with some, as far as figures go, there was, when we had the meeting with the other towns, there was something I'm not 100% sure. That's why I want to talk to Robert. What would it look like for numbers in the money
Yeah.
in 18 years going forward? And I'm thinking, why was 18 years? But that's something that I have to get more info from Jenna. But I did, she did forward me an email from one of the girls that's on the, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you guys got it, but.
I did, but I haven't had a chance to
Okay,
look at it.
so what happened was this money for the harm reduction got cut.
Yeah.
We still have funding that needs to be reduced on existing contracts in order to meet the $3 million that was cut from our state line item.
Wow.
And we'll have a procurement coming out in a year where Community Health Connections can apply to be a drug user health program, and they can apply to provide syringes as a directly funded provider. That's a different,
It's kind of separate thing.
separate. Given that there aren't any providers that we fund in their catchment area, they would be in a very strong position to be funded under a new funding opportunity. So that's why we don't want to abandon the
Yeah, it's
opioid.
not off
So
the table.
It's not off the table there. So it's kind of disappointing. So she's looking for, she was talking to, or she wrote something to Margaret Scarsdale,
Yeah,
and I said, maybe Lori Trahan, we
Yeah.
could write to her.
yeah, exactly.
Because it's, want to call to advocate for the refunding of the $3 million on the state AIDS line.
Yeah, that's the deal, is it
Yeah.
all comes out of that.
So that's
out of
where
that
the
one
money would
budget
be.
item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so they're recommending people try to leverage the opioid abatement funding as much as possible at a local level as well. So
Yeah, which kind of
we'll
makes sense.
continue with that.
Yeah, okay.
But, so I, at some point, get together and try to put something together for Lori Trahan, and I'll pull the rest of the figures off there.
Okay, and we can look at signing that as a board?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that-
ask you if everyone would be on board with that, so.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
will.
I think we should.
That makes sense.
Because
We'll look at what
I
you
feel
have
like we
now.
were like,
Yeah, I know, we were full steam ahead
Yeah.
and we keep hitting these snags. So.
yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Nichelle, what's going on, Bridget?
Well,
You got a lot of stuff going on, I know.
Nice to have you back.
Yes,
Great
it
to
is.
be back.
Do you mean that?
I do,
Okay.
sort of.
That's what I thought.
So I have had so first, some of the stuff goes back a little ways.
Okay.
This is an older, I'm embarrassed, but it's just a well permit that was issued in July. It's for a closed loop geothermal well, it's just for heating, so that was for Sandy Pond.
For what in Sandy Pond?
One Sandy Way Air.
Oh,
It's a
One
closed
Sandy
loop
Way.
geothermal well for heat.
What is Sandy Way? Is that what?
No, it's one of the side streets off of Wright Road.
Oh,
is
okay.
it?
Past me.
Off of Wright.
Yeah, I remember when they were drilling do they have to have a permit for drilling for geothermal? Really? Yeah, it's two houses, two streets down from where I am on Sandy Pond.
okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I had done a housing inspection at 10 Jackson Street,
Yep.
this is a letter just requesting a reinspection.
Okay.
So that's that.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
On December 10th, Pam and I had, wait a minute, did we go on the 10th? On December 9th, Pam and I did a reinspection at 17 Taft Street, found violations corrected. So I just wrote a standard letter that the violations had been corrected. So that was written December 10th.
Yep.
Sometimes I email Sam stuff and I
Yeah.
put some in the envelope. Another one, I just did a housing inspection, January 7th,
Okay.
which was last week.
Whereabouts?
West Street.
Okay. Yeah.
The gist of the complaint was cockroaches, which we did find, live roaches, a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
The landlord was notified.
Here we
Yep. Then we also had another uptick of rats.
Yeah.
So I had not received any complaints in my office. So what I did is I took the complaint. She sent a video. There was actually some rats visually in an abutter's property.
Mm-hmm.
That person does have chickens. I did write them a letter.
Union Street, right? Is this
Yes.
Union Street? Yeah.
Yes, and not a letter, an email requesting that we follow up and do an inspection.
Yeah, I saw that email. Yeah.
Haven't heard back.
Okay.
I'll try again, then follow up with a letter.
Okay.
And that's really, at this point, it's just trying to get access to the property.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Have you had any contact prior to this with?
So we did an inspection on the property for chickens. I went with Animal Control Julie on October 7th.
Oh, okay. And everything was okay back in October? Okay.
We didn't visually see anything.
Yeah.
You notify the fire department and stuff like this?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. I made a note in the file. We notified the fire department, and we also made a note in the file that we notified the fire department. So we'll also request a smoke
Certificate?
certificate. So it looks like the smoke detectors were taken down in the unit.
Nice.
Oh,
We did advise them to replace them for safety purposes, but
When does that become a life safety issue?
so we call it a 24-hour violation. So we notified the fire department, but we also, in this particular case, I know the landlord. We do have his email address, so I notified him by email.
If they don't comply, what happens then?
The landlord would come. I would ask you to bring them in here for.
okay.
Do you do a reinspection within 24 hours or?
So we notified
new
the landlord.
inspection, I
Okay,
believe,
and then
coming
we will
from
follow up with the
this.
tenant, so I have to
The
actually
roach.
call the tenant to
They called about roaches and she found a bunch more stuff.
I'm just wondering how long they would allow someone to continue to live there without smoke detectors.
Yeah, like
Mm.
I said, it looks like they were all taken down
Wow.
in the unit.
Yeah, that's.
Sometimes they go off and then they're-
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So again, I can follow up with the fire department too, again, to see if they had gone out, but the code notifies us, the code states that we have to notify the fire
Yeah.
department now.
I'm just wondering how long someone can continue to stay there if the violation hasn't been corrected.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous,
Yeah.
especially this time of year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, but they have to respond on that one fairly quickly, right?
Yep, so we have to legally, we have to give the landlord notice, when they sign the certified, that is when the 24-hour period generally starts.
Okay, gotcha.
In this particular case, I did call, then I sent an email, and the landlord said he would take care of it.
Okay.
Now we have to get back in touch with the tenant to see
Mhm.
if that
Okay.
was.
All right, got it.
Hmm.
Okay, then I guess we let that take its course, but let me know if you need anything
Yep.
from us on that. What else is going on?
I think that was,
No food inspections?
so
or-
so I've been trying to email Sam,
Yeah,
to save paper.
yeah, that's cool.
So she has a ton over there, and then I did email,
You emailed me like 30 of them or something.
Wow. Holy cow. Everything copacetic?
Yeah.
Everybody happy? Okay, good.
I can, if the board wants, when I send them to Sam, I can copy everybody on it, but I don't,
No, in my opinion.
I just get
was speaking
nervous
for
about-
myself, I would say only if there's something
Yeah,
that's a
so-
problem.
I agree.
Yeah.
we're trying to be diligent with
Yeah.
not printing so much stuff. So I've been trying to email Sam, and then if there's a problem,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
That, I think that's exactly right.
And then I found out, so Megan from my office was doing inspections with me.
Yeah.
She did put in her notice, so.
Oh no.
Kara in my office is still helping, which is great, but she was out today in Ayer doing food, and she said the main street nutrition is closed. She hasn't been given access in the website.
Oh, the
Oh.
fresh air nutrition.
Yeah, that's
Fresh
it.
air?
Yeah, fresh
Oh.
air, yeah.
So do we know?
I haven't heard
Okay, they
anything.
did not notify us. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean close?
But they're like closed down for
She-
business?
Yeah,
and-
so we've driven by to try to do inspections, and they haven't been open, and today she went twice, so I think she checked the website,
Huh.
and I thought she said that it was closed, so.
Do they have an active common vic license or?
I don't know if you
Huh?
heard
I
anything.
haven't heard anything. I didn't know. I know they keep odd hours.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, okay.
okay. So other than that, no, we're just,
Okay. How long, like, can they go with no inspection?
I mean, we just,
We need to do so.
so I mean, it's a low risk type
Okay.
of establishment,
Alright.
but, I can check and see when they were last done, but,
Yeah, just let us know if it's getting to be,
if we can't get them, then we try to make an appointment,
yeah,
but in this particular case, we wanna, it's an active establishment that typically is open during the day, but I just haven't.
yeah, you haven't hit them at the right, okay.
They're all decorated for the holiday.
Valentine's Day?
No, what, Christmas. They were all decorated up for Christmas, so.
Oh.
Keep an eye out for Valentine's, then we'll know this.
Yeah.
There you go, that's what
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I see that they change their decorations.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Other than that, there's just the assessment information.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were gonna put on here. So, at the last meeting, unless you wanna talk about this, Bridget, you wanna talk about assessments?
Not really.
Last meeting of Neshoba, we talked about the dreaded unfunded money pit that's going on over there. And what Jim was pointing out was that they have to, this is my understanding of it. So if I haven't got this right, I definitely apologize. And I have not spoken to Jim, but they have to bill the towns for the money that would like make up this shortfall. And they have to do that because the shortfall, and it has to do with pensions and how people were classified and whatnot with the state. But their accounting firm, is my understanding, and please interrupt if you know anything.
The accounting or auditing?
Or auditing, yeah, picked up this discrepancy and said, you've got to have accounts receivable to, offset some of this. So what Jim talked about, and this was the part that I wasn't entirely sure on, was that, so they're increasing the fees by 10%. What I found astonishing was when we looked at so each town pays proportionally based on our population. And what it comes out to for all the stuff that Neshoba does for us, we pay $11.49 per resident. That is amazing to me, that you can go into a restaurant and count on it being safe. All these things happen for $11.50. So there's a 10% increase that is to put them in better shape. And so these are the new numbers now, if you want to see, and that's a 10%. That's a 10% increase. But what I don't think is included in here is the whole increase to like top up that pension fund. Is that correct? This is only the 10%.
I can't say for sure.
Okay. I can talk to Jim and get
I don't want to speak out of
get more clarification on that, because the other thing he did mention was that if they have to bill us for this big increase to make up for this hole in the budget, he said the towns don't necessarily have to pay it, they have to bill it. And I thought,
I don't understand how you.
well, that's, yeah, well, because I got the impression that the issue was that there's nothing that has been billed, so there's no accounts receivable outstanding against that.
Yeah, my understanding was there was an interpretation of the law in terms of how they were characterized. And
Yep.
Neshoba was appealing the decision of the state.
Yep.
Did that appeal ever come back to Neshoba? Do we know?
So we are working with Margaret Scarsdale.
Yeah.
Right. That was, yeah.
Yep.
Again, because that, I think whatever happened previously died on the floor.
Yes,
So
right.
now we're going back.
But
There's another
There's
round.
another round.
It was an
Setting it up.
interpretation that would require a state law change, that there would have to be, or an amendment to the current law.
Yes,
to
and as
allow for this.
As Jim explained it, he's been told by people at the state level that it's just a wording change.
Yep.
In the regulation. So which is why everybody's saying this,
And I think
we
there
just gotta
was
get somebody at the state level to do it.
someone else in our group previously that didn't want that word changed, which caused it to die on the floor. So now they're out of
Yeah,
the group and we're redoing this.
Okay.
because there are
Again.
other groups, right? It's not just you guys. He was talking about like regional planning boards and things that are affected,
Yes.
so.
So until the appeal is done, and someone votes that they are or not going to change the language,
Mhm.
it's an anticipated increase.
Right.
It's not a actual.
Right, they haven't sent out any bills yet.
That may be why Jim said from an accounting perspective, we have to show an accounts receivable,
Yeah,
but
I think
it may not have to be.
yeah,
That's-
I think that's what's behind it. So I can get more information for the next meeting. I can
Yeah, and
clarify with Jim exactly what it
But
is.
there is a 10%.
There is a 10% increase, but I think the important takeaway from that was I was floored that it's $11.49.
When you break it down to simple language like that, you know.
Yeah, and
I
I mean,
know.
I don't think sometimes, and then, sometimes I feel like, you can only talk so much, but are people listening? There's so many different aspects to the job, and some of it we do call the unfunded mandates. Those are the things like the housing inspections that
Yeah,
occupy a lot of your
Yeah.
time. General nuisance complaints, things like rats.
Yeah.
Which brings up a question. Are you charging for, does Neshoba charge the landlord for inspections? Why wouldn't Neshoba consider charging, if you get a complaint that you have to do an inspection, why wouldn't Neshoba charge the landlord or whoever?
I honestly don't know any town that does do that.
Well, why wouldn't we do that?
you know what, I'm gonna talk to Jim about this anyway to understand the 10% versus the
Ayer
other.
has
Let me
so many
ask.
apartments, if you have to, why wouldn't you charge the landlord?
So we charge when we do if a landlord wants to have us in to do an inspection, a pre-inspection before somebody moves in, we do charge for that.
Oh.
But I don't know that we can
Well-
I don't know that we can charge
If
a landlord for an inspection. I don't
You mean
know.
like for the cockroach?
Yeah, I don't know that
Inspection,
we,
yeah.
If it's a founded complaint, it seems to me there should be a charge for that. If it's an unfounded complaint,
I don't know if it,
yeah.
like I
That's a good
said,
question.
I'm not aware of any towns in the Commonwealth.
It would kind of look like
Yeah.
a fine before you even, you know
Well,
what
no,
I mean?
if-
It would be
if-
perceived
If,
that way.
if you go out and there's no violation, this is a landlord-tenant dispute,
Right.
then,
There's nothing.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
But if it's
But if it really is
really like the one that you just showed,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you be charging for that? I mean, to me, that would be, and the
And that's
reinspection.
what they're called, they're unfunded mandates.
And the reinspection.
that's
Well,
a fair question. I'll ask.
Yeah.
I will ask. That's
And
absolutely a
you're
fair
right, it
question.
would be like Ayer, Shirley, places that do have a lot of
Rentals.
rentals.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like the
Yeah.
other towns that are more rural and have property. It's interesting. I don't know how it would be
Yeah.
perceived how do you change something like that?
I mean, again, I don't know if it would,
Yeah.
I don't know it, like I said, I'm not aware of
Any,
any towns in the Commonwealth
No.
doing that.
Yeah.
Again, if the owner wants a pre-inspection, we do that, but again, these are one of the things that they call the unfunded
Yeah.
mandates. And it's the same thing with, you know, I mean, in a situation where you have rats or flies or an odor,
Yeah.
general nuisance, you know, those are all, again, things that we investigate that sometimes take up hours, days,
Yeah.
weeks,
Yeah.
months,
Yeah.
then involves town council and involves court.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you throw on it, you have the septic stuff, the well stuff,
Yeah.
lead paint. I mean, it just
Yeah.
comes on and
It does,
on
yeah.
and on.
It adds up.
It's yeah, it gets a little crazy. And like I said, I don't think sometimes people understand, you know, again, when we're responding to complaints, we have to try to get a hold of the owner. We have to try to get on the property. And sometimes Sam lives my frustration when sometimes you write letters and then you write another letter and you make a
Yeah.
phone call and you try to get an email. And if that homeowner does not respond to you, the next step is either having them come in here or
Yeah,
go to court. And that in itself is just, then you have to actually prove that.
Yeah.
Like in the situation with rats, we have had issues in so many towns at so many different times for so many different reasons. But
Gotcha.
if we are on a homeowner's property and we see rats on their property, you know,
Yeah.
we have to cite them if they're calling us and we're seeing the rats.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we have to have a definitive reason
Yeah.
and trying to solidify that. And in one particular case, the one that we're dealing with now, there's 2 chicken permits
Right.
separate, yes,
Yeah.
separated.
So
by
whose
house.
rats are they?
Right, and
Yeah.
then there's people feeding birds, and then there's also, it's a
I
high
know.
area for dumpsters.
Yeah,
I
I
even
know.
went
By the
in the,
train.
like, checking dumpsters, like, to see if the bags are pulled apart by
Oh,
rats,
yeah.
to try to.
Oh God, Bridget, you're like.
So bottom line, people have no idea. What?
That's
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
What you
Yeah.
guys?
Good point. though.
Yeah,
And
That's
then
a very
the,
good.
Right?
the other end of that is because of the way it's set up.
No one knows if they should be calling Bridget or if they should be calling
Oh,
me.
yeah,
so
then
then
there's
I
that.
get the calls of, well,
Yeah.
Bridget, what are you doing? And I'm not Bridget.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Ugh.
All right. Well, we can keep it under the general Neshoba discussion for next time, but I will follow up and find out about both the when and if the, fees are gonna go way up, and do we have any options for fees? All right. Anything else, Bridget?
Is that enough?
I know, that is
This is
enough.
my second full week back, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
Oh, gosh.
You want to cut out? You can cut out if you want. I think we're done with you. Okay. I just don't think this is going to take a terribly long time. Regulations review, I don't think there's anything new that we have to address. I am going to talk to Joan about, as I mentioned, if there's things that we need to update in tobacco. I'm going to look at the trash haulers. That gives us a couple of things ongoing. But if you could just continue to look at the website and like even the tobacco one that we still have, I think it was in 2018.
Oh, it's got both of them on there.
It's still got both of them on there. Let's get rid of the old one. I know you are. I know you are. The other thing is on the, do we need to do anything as a board to like get on the, I was looking at the town calendar and noticing that some, like, I don't remember which board it was, like, is on the calendar out till summer.
That's the calendar.
Okay.
She knows. She just, I don't know. She does the calendar. That's her
Okay. All
responsibility.
right.
So
Gotcha.
So we just have to give those dates that we've already agreed on to go.
Yeah.
She hasn't, she just.
Okay. All right. Okay.
and I know Max is also working on some of those things. So
Yeah.
I think there's some changes.
Yeah, and there's just all that old information that we got to get cleaned out.
Yeah.
But, okay.
that's on the
All right.
plan.
You guys good with that for regs? We don't need to take on any new regs. We'll look at those two. All right. Call log, I think we kind of hit everything that was on the
It
call
was already
log.
there.
We were good with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had rats, we had cockroaches.
Kinds of stuff.
Lions and tigers and bears, there was nothing else that we didn't do, right? Yeah, apartment inspections. And,
Yep.
and how many dogs can you have? Okay,
Yeah, nothing.
got it.
Yeah, how many dogs do you need?
Yeah,
How many do you have?
you never have too many dogs.
There is no limit.
All right, minutes. Anybody look at minutes? We have a copy here of minutes.
I looked.
I did look too. And, yeah, I thought that they looked fine. Did you have a chance to?
The online one. that I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Can
Anybody?
I make a motion to
Yeah,
accept
absolutely, you can.
the minutes from December 9th, 2024?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's do it. All right, here's my
Perfect.
signed version. We are on a roll.
Alright,
Oh, permits. We got permits, huh?
we have permits.
Okay.
Trash haulers, let me make sure I have them all now. Because I shuffled them, so now I don't remember.
What do we have? We have trash haulers and tobacco.
Yeah. They come due at the same time.
Yeah.
Alright, so for trash haulers, I have Waste Management of Massachusetts,
Okay.
Republic Services,
Wow.
and
It's a nice hefty package.
Wow.
they have to give us a list of all their customers.
Holy cow. And they do.
They do.
All their customers in Air, right?
In air, yeah.
Wow, there's
So they-
pages and pages of Brady Sullivan. Page after page after
Yes.
page.
And then DeCresico? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That one.
Crescio, whatever. Okay.
So of our trash haulers, we have one outstanding. M. Sullivan and Son Disposal. They are the ones who are always outstanding. I send
me
that
too.
to them certified. I've sent it to them certified twice. I have called them. They do not have an email. I have heard crickets. I am, and they did this last year and they did it the year before.
Let's send them a certified, and if we don't get anything back, then
Certified, okay.
yeah.
Because when I mailed it out this year, I just sent it certified, so I knew they got it.
Yeah. Like no.
got it?
Let's do a.
Can you do like a 30-day notification of termination?
Yeah, we could do that. I think technically we still find them.
Yeah, I was just gonna look that up.
I would just say if you can do a termination, if we don't hear from you within 30 days, your permit
If it's chronic, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Where's my trash regulation?
you know, I've been lenient. I understand it's a small 3-man operation, but they're not answering. So
Yeah, I mean, you've still got to conduct business.
Right.
Regulation, I'm just looking at, this is violations. Yeah, let's just see if there's anything, if there is anything in the reg about, clearly about
Yeah.
overdue, then we can, let me know what you get for a letter and we can get something out to them. Okay.
and all these guys were received before the 31st. That's
Okay.
fine.
And these are all good. All right, anybody making motions?
Make a motion that the chairman sign the permits as presented for trash haulers.
Nice.
Second is
Second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'm doing G.W. Shaw.
So you'll list those in the minutes, right?
Yeah, I listed them all.
And date issued, I do,
Just do today. It's
what is, oh my God.
13th.
This is the 13th.
Yeah, you can just do today.
Okay, and D. Crescio.
I just have a hard time saying 2025. It's like I feel like so weird. I don't know, in the Jetsons or something. It's like
I know, it's really
19 was supposed to be forever, and
public
just
services.
getting that too.
How's this one for weird? If, the Jetsons and whatnot.
Yeah.
George Jetson was born in 22.
Was he really? Oh,
If you do
jeez.
the math, he was born in 22.
Oh, jeez.
Holy cow.
Oh, man.
How's that for terrible?
Yeah.
I horrified my husband with that one the other day.
25. That is appalling.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
those are done.
now we have our lovely,
Tobaccos.
we got our lovely tobacco friend.
All right.
So, tobacco, they've done fairly decent. I do have the application for the jack-o'-lantern, but because they had outstanding
Yeah.
fines, it's not issued yet. So I have it, they've paid,
Okay,
but we can't issue it yet.
okay.
I am missing 2.
Okay.
The Ayer convenience store, which is on Park Street, that's changing ownership, so the new owners have to do it, and the old owners weren't, and they're helping each other.
Oh, okay,
They're aware
gotcha.
of it.
Yeah,
They're
alright.
just a little.
And you have a contact
Can you
there
just
and it's
remind us, do they
live.
need to do their food permit?
Yep, I can remind them.
Okay.
So and the old owner knows the new.
And it sounds like you're in communication.
Yeah, I've talked to
Alright.
them all. They're
Awesome.
and then the last one we do not have is the Ayer package store
Really?
right here on 48 Main Street. So this happened last year as well. They are missing their state license. I don't know.
They're doing what?
They don't have their state tobacco license. So we require a copy of that with the application to say the state says it's all right. They said they're waiting on the state for it. I don't know. This happened last year as well. I've talked to them. They paid. I'm just not doing anything.
Is the state, is that every year they get a state license?
Yeah, they have. Well, that one's a terrible copy, but I think they're good for. Yeah, they get them every year. So
Okay.
I don't.
That's is that the license or is that the tax thing, isn't it?
It's the tax thing.
Yeah,
but we
okay.
need-
Yeah.
But if they
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
every
yeah, I know
year,
what you
what's
mean.
the date? What was the month?
This one was for October. This permit, I don't know. Theirs.
Okay.
These guys. It looks like October is when they get them.
Are you in contact
I've
with
contacted
them?
her or him. I contacted him and he said, yeah, there's a hold up with the state and we don't have it yet. So I'm not sure.
Since October? Very.
Yeah. And it was one of those of, well, I can give you until the meeting date. We're not going to do anything until then. And
Yeah. When's the last time you talked to them?
Wednesday last week.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Tell them to get their act together before the next meeting. Okay.
So, but otherwise, we can issue permits for the Family Dollar, Newtown Central Convenience, GW Archer, the Vineyard, and Shop and Save. Shop and Save did have the tobacco violation. They paid the fine. They brought in all their stuff.
Okay. And they're clean with they've done what they need to do. Okay. Gotcha.
They were right on top of it.
Okay.
Make a motion that the chair sign the permits for tobacco as presented.
I second that. I like the way you do that.
All in favor? Aye, I like that too.
Mainstreaming
I
everything.
know. All right. Can I remember what you just told me? It is the 13th. 13/25. There's that. Here's this one. And these two. Oh, I should be good at signing 25 after this.
And to continue, we have no bills and we have no mail. So.
Oh, good.
Which means I'll get mail tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. All right, that's cool.
And what are we on for February? What did I write?
Yeah, what date was it? The 10th, I think?
Yep,
10th.
February 10th.
All right, so next meeting, February 10th, and we're going to have probably hearing for tobacco. And I will talk to Jim by then. I'll get some info on that, and I'll take a look at what comes through for the trash hauler stuff and get that updated. And then we'll be cleaning up, I'm sure, tobaccos and trash haulers and whatnot. Anything else anybody wants on the agenda, or you can always let us know beforehand?
I move we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.